Shut up and sit down.
We are back inside Wisconsin. John Anderson, Trevor Thomas, and Charlie Berens.
So, Charlie, we keep talking about how you see Wisconsin and how you portray it and how you put it out there. As you go about and do, how do other people see us? Because every time I watch somebody at Lambeau Field and I see the cheese on our head, I'm like, you're not helping the stereotype of who we are at all. Mm-hmm. What feedback do you get from people, how they see folks from Wisconsin?
Well, I think they see us just like that, honestly. I don't think it's easy to get away from the stereotype that's been presented. But I think I view the stereotype as like a starting point and then kind of dropping in at that, because that's mm-hmm. where people already see you. It's kind of like if you're a comedian and you're stepping up on stage, people are just people and they're going to go for the easiest thing of what you look like, so that you kind of embrace that initially. That's a comedic technique. But in the same way with Wisconsin, we've had this for decades now. And so that's going to be the first thing people think of: dairy state cheese, cheesehead Packers, da-da-da-da. But I think if you start there and then build out, people can over time maybe see mm-hmm. a different or more complete picture. That's my hope anyway.
And then just to the work, you said when you get up there on stage, I watch people and they perform in front of crowds, mm-hmm. but there's either an opponent or there are 5 teammates, and people like, explain if you can sort of the nakedness of standing up there and you go on stage and you hope people like it, but there's a chance it's subjective and they don't. But just what that's like, whether it's, I don't know if it's the uncomfortability or the dread or the rush, but you're out there and it is all on you. There's nobody else.
Yeah. I remember when I was first getting into stand-up in LA, I did a stand-up show and I bombed so terribly hard. Like, I thought it was hilarious and I thought it was good and I kind of memorized it and I had it ready to go. And then just hearing the dead silence, especially when you're delivering a line like it's going to crush. Right. And then nothing. And so when you do that and you decide to go out and do it night after night, like a lot of guys do and what women do when they're starting up in comedy, you kind of get accustomed to bombing and you get a sense of what that feel is. And it's good to bomb, especially early on in your career when you're doing those open mics. So you know that feeling, you know how to rescue yourself in that moment. But then when you get to the point of doing a larger show, I had like 10 good minutes and then I got asked to do an hour-long show. And of course, you're like, yeah, we can do it. Now we're like, oh man, how are we going to do this? Right. That ability and confidence to bomb really helped say, okay, I can take a few more risks here on stage because if it bombs, I know what to do. And then you slowly build it out from your 10 minutes and you go into your kind of life story. And then also what, in my case, what Wisconsin kind of means to me. And you double down on that, and recognition is very important. And then it's kind of a leap of faith. You test as much material as you can before you go out on stage in front of people. But then it's a leap of faith and every night's different. Some nights certain jokes crush, other nights they don't. It's important not to let a joke go just because it didn't do well one night. Mm-hmm. You gotta really feel it out and allow yourself to not just be memorizing things and saying them, but allow yourself to sort of like encompass the emotion more than anything else. Because people respond to emotion almost more than they respond to the words. Mm-hmm. And if you look at a guy like Richard Pryor, for instance, who just like really was the first one to bring that emotion to stage. I mean, that's where a lot of that comes from.
Well, listen, it is a bold profession because there's no second string. We don't get to call in the backup when you get out there. And as George Carlin famously said, right, if you go out and do great, you killed. And if you don't, you died. So either way, somebody's getting the bad end of that. So,
yes, that's
all right,
true.
Trevor, go ahead. Let's rip through some of these. What do you got for us this week? I can't wait to hear.
I would like to know
much greater depth than mine.
Well, this one isn't too far in depth. Charlie, you're from Wisconsin. You're probably a Packer fan. What does the host of the Manitowoc Minute understand What the hell is going on with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, here's the deal with Rodgers. Honest to Pete, if I were to be, frank with you, I'd tell you this about Aaron Rodgers, and that's the fact that, I've been saying this a long gosh darn time. I've been saying it before anyone else has been saying it. And honest to Pete, I just don't know. And so,
Great. Thanks for clearing it up for us.
No, anytime you want any more questions, you come to me first because, I've been doing my research on the Rodgers for a long time. And that's the definitive answer there. It's, I don't know. So,
Charlie, what's up north to you?
Up north is anything, you know what? Honest to Pete, this Charlie's going to take that. First of all, up north is it's a state of mind as much as it is a state of location. So for some folks up north could be, Cudahy. Okay. And to that I says, what are you doing living in Beloit? But they don't like that. And so, Beloit's beautiful this time of year, honest to Pete. So anyway, and sometimes up north can be, geographically down south, but in your mental, it's up north. Okay. So you think about that. And so.
Got it. One more. What size is the duck jacket?
The duck jacket, thank you for asking. It is a medium, okay, but it's from the 1950s. And back there, a medium was a real medium, okay? Some people these days are making them mediums extra small. Well, geez Louise. No, that's an official medium from the 1950s. That was my dad's duck jacket, stole from him. He stole it from his Uncle Heine. So, that's how it goes, He was a real good bullhead fisher back in the day, world championship bullhead fisher from the swamps right outside Lake Winnebago. They were rivers technically, but really just swamps. So, that wasn't really a lightning round, was it? That was more of a thunder.
Oh
round.
No, the lightning round is next. That's
okay.
Well, I was going to ask, okay, so that I know that Charlie he hunts. Does he fish as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He fishes. You bet your bottom dollar he do. Walleyes, fantastic walleye fisherman. Yeah, and I'll go live bait or spinners on that. Some people are like, I don't fish for walleyes with leeches. That's cheating. I says, what game are you playing, fella? Are we eating tonight or no? So I don't always have time for your spinner deals. Sometimes we got to, throw some quarter pounders with leech on the line and call her a day. So that answer the question or no?
It does. Yeah. Trevor and I have argued. I told him, I don't think that fishing is a sport because one side doesn't know it's playing.
Well, yeah. I mean, do the deer know they're playing either? I mean,
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we're all just in this game of life, though. And do we know we're playing that? So, you got to think about it that way, too. Mm-hmm. So
very good. All right. Well, these are open for either Charlie's here. First off, who's your favorite Packer of all time?
Reggie White. He was the number on my Packers locker as a kid. So Reggie White. Yeah.
In terms of full-on Wisconsin, how do we feel about Trevor's flannel shirt?
Honestly, it's a fantastic shirt. It is. It's a little bit more Nashville. It's a little cool. It's a Saturday nice shirt. Honest to Pete, I mean, geez, and you got a patch on there and
Harley. Everything. It's a Harley shirt, guys.
Oh, is that a Harley one? Well, that must be from Harley's church variety of shirts. I mean, that is really nice. You wear that. That's nice enough to wear to a funeral, I would say. So
I think so.
Real good. Yeah.
Cheese curds. Do you like them deep fried or we'll just eat them cold out of the bag?
I never am able to say it, in a definitive way. It just depends if I'm in a squeaky cheese curd kind of mood, which is usually mornings until about 4 p.m. But around 4:01, I like to get a little wild and crazy. I like to deep fry them. I do have to make sure I got a mound of Tums that I can snort after that. Otherwise, I'm going to bed with indigestion. So
the Manitowoc Minute, Charlie, how long would it take him to correctly spell Antetokounmpo?
Yeah, Giannis is a great guy, so we got the A going.
Sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, after the A comes the N. Okay. And so, that happens a lot, like in and or anaconda. Don't want none. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So we're at the end. And, and then, of course, obviously, timeout, we got the T. And you know, and so Giannis is a great guy. You know, did I tell you that?
I love that. Sure.
Yeah.
Which is funnier? Which city, Egg Harbor or Blue Mounds?
Oh yeah, which one's funny? Well, you know, you drop an egg in the harbor, you know what happens, don't you? You know, you get yourself a sturgeon real quick one. So you didn't know they liked eggs, but yeah, especially if you deep fry them sunny side up, well, then you're really getting it. And then Blue Mounds is fantastic because the mounds are really green, you know, but it's like, did you get some of that, you know, new Delta 8 cannabinoid or something when you were naming that place? You know, were you a little, you know, high on the devil's lechuga? You know, what were you thinking? So anyway, that's a thing though. A lot of funny named towns in this place.
And then the last one I have, and this is a tribute to some of your past work. I'm going to name 3 names. You tell me which one of these people doesn't have an Emmy. Charlie Berens, Trevor Thomas, John Anderson. Which one of those 3 people does not have an Emmy?
Is it Charlie Berens?
I don't think that is the correct answer.
Oh, geez, Louise. Then I give up. You're making me pick here, you know, and I'm only going to run my nose into a garage door.
Look.
Look
wow.
at that.
Look at that. You got 2 of them sums of guns.
And then Charlie's got one. And Trevor has a participation trophy from Swing Choir or something, I think.
That is first place Pinewood Derby trophy. Thank you very much.
Honest to Pete, that is a one to be flexing with right there.
Thank you.
Louise. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Hey, as we let you go, Charlie, speaking of flexing, your dad is a doctor at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Tell us about what it's been like to have a guy in your life that is doing the work that he's doing. What does that mean to you?
Oh, yeah. He really does incredible work there, and he always has. And, you know, seeing his dedication to it, I mean, when they spend all night on call and, you know, and especially being in his position, you develop relationships with kids, and then, you know, some of them tragically don't make it. And the emotional toll, I can't really, you know, think of that, you know. And of course, my mom too, you know, really taking on like a family of 12, and the teamwork that they kind of did growing up is just, I think about that sometimes. I think about, like, you know, my dad at my age, I think he had like 6 kids and was working all these hours at a hospital. Right. I was like, yeah, well, Dad, I made a real good joke about Aaron Rodgers yesterday. What do you think about that? And I got a free lawnmower. Right. So cool, huh? He's like, you know, but no, they're awesome. They both are, and you know, I'm pretty lucky to have both.
Well, and I would think that your dad would agree. Laughing is the best medicine in life, Charlie. You bring joy to so many people on the regular, and as a lifetime Wisconsinite, I'm a huge fan, and I absolutely love what you do, and we're grateful that you came on Inside Wisconsin with John and I.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to come on. I want you both to keep her moving, okay? And I'll say this because I like the emotional capacity. Say I love you. Watch out for deer, okay? All right.
Keepers. That's how we're going to end it, huh? Okay.
Deer.
Well,
yeah.